I keep seeing these articles are insane. They're everywhere. Not this article, but articles in the same vein, talking about how China is poised and set to hit their greenhouse goals, and they're going to be carbon neutral and this and that. And there's always these graphs. I'll just draw one with my hands here.
Yeah.
There's a graph. It's like, here's China's carbon output. And it's like here, and then it shows like a huge decline, and this is the future.
Yes,
right.
But it looks as if it's the present.
Yes.
There was China set to.
Yeah.
China pledges
Goals,
to. China's goal. This.
When has China done anything it said?
Please, guys. Okay, here's my goal. Okay. Yeah. My goal is to be more ripped than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna be incredibly fit. In fact, I'm gonna win the Olympics.
Yes.
You know.
You plan, right?
10 years' time, whenever the Olympics are, I'm going to win every single event.
Oh, wow.
All of them.
You will? Because you plan to, right?
Yes, that's my pledge, is to win all the Olympic events. And you know what? If anyone ever comes up to me and says, like, look at you, you're eating that disgusting pizza and you're fat, you're never going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll say, don't you tell me about eating this pizza, because I've pledged to win all the Olympics, and I'm going to be super fit and strong.
You know what I plan to do?
What?
I plan this, so it's going to happen because it's my plan, right? I'm going to be president of the United States.
There we go.
I will. I mean, I absolutely will, because it's my plan, right?
Yeah.
It will happen.
And I pledge to, and I plan to, and and that's what China does, guys. Please stop falling for this. They keep saying, we'll be carbon neutral by whatever day. Okay? And when people say, then why are you building more carbon? I mean,
you're building more coal plants.
Yeah, why have you built more coal plants than the entire world's history last month?
Why did you build more coal plants than you did before now?
Yes.
After you said you're going to stop.
And they're like, shut up. Don't look at that, because we're pledged to be carbon neutral by whatever, 20-something or other. That's how they lie. That's how they kick the can down the road. That's how they stop criticism, is they always, when people point out, hey, listen, guys, you are messing up the environment. They're like, oh, yeah, well, shut the hell up, because, you know, we're going to do something in the future, which we're not actually going to do, but we're going to keep telling you so you leave us alone to just destroy the planet wantonly.
Thankfully, I found this article in the same vein, which it says, this is from MIT, by the way. MIT did a great study. Shout out to MIT.
Yeah.
China's emissions of two potent greenhouse gases rise 78% in decade. And the reason I found this refreshing is because we're talking about what's really happening now.
Yes, not some
I don't care about later. I don't care about that.
That is a fantasy anyway. Anyone can say anything. Anyone in our audience right now can say, I'm going to go to Mars and rule the universe.
Yes.
You say what you want.
You can say whatever you want. You got to do it first, right? Like America used to be polluted in the 70s or whatever, right? Like when the smog was rolling through LA.
Why do you think I have to have a stupid catalytic converter on my car?
Yes.
When I drive around.
Because America has laws, right? For this kind of stuff. But here's the deal. I don't care about what the plan of the future or whatever is. You got to do it, right? And China hasn't done anything. The only thing they've done is to show that they're going to do this is add more coal plants.
Yes.
Add more greenhouse gases.
Destroy the environment more.
Exactly. So we're looking at these two greenhouse gases, tetrafluoromethane and hexafluoroethane, right?
Yeah.
These are 64 to 66% of the global output was from one single country,
China.
Right? And that's what matters. 78% of greenhouse gases rose in a decade, yet this country is saying that they are at the forefront of green technology and going to be the world leader in making the world a better place. Yeah. Bro, it's like Nell Hutta in Star Wars. It is polluted beyond belief. People are going to have to leave. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So stop.
Just shut up about that.
Thank you for this article.
Yeah, this is good to see some, I don't know, reality for once.
Reality about now. The increase in emissions from China was sufficient to account for the global emission increases over that same period, suggesting that China is the dominant driver in tetrafluoromethane and hexafluoroethane released into the atmosphere globally. The emissions were found to mainly originate from less populated industrial zones in the western regions of China and are thought to be due to the role of perfluorocarbons in the aluminum industry. And when I was in Western China, I went on a train, went through a city that literally looked like something that should be artificially intelligence generated. It was so scary. It was in the middle of the day. It was supposed to be a sunny day, and the sky was black as smokestacks belched fire into the air, and people walked covered in soot as they walked from school past these factories. And when I rode by that on a train, it's like in 2014 or something. It wasn't that long ago. On the train, I look out the window, and I'm like, this is truly hell on earth. And the reason I bring that up is these areas in Western China that you don't see on the news.
Yeah.
It's not Shanghai. It's not even Beijing, right? It's these places that are unaccounted for, are hellscapes.
Yes, if you get out into those areas.
Yeah.
And, have you noticed that whenever there's a propagandist tour around China, they never go to these places. They only go to the flashy cities.
They don't go to the hellscapes.
You know what's very interesting, just anecdotally here? There's a shill that works for Chinese state media and does propaganda full-time, basically, for China. And he recently went on a propaganda trip around China. Went to Chongqing and all the usual propaganda places they go, Xinjiang, all that stuff. And in all the posts that he was putting out on Twitter and everything, he made one post where he's like, people are going to say that this is fake, but this is the best, the deepest blue sky I've ever seen or whatever. And, and he showed this blue sky in Guangzhou.
Okay.
But he's been there for months.
Okay.
Doing trips around, and he only got one blue sky to show. Because everything he was posting had crap sky don't lie vibes going on. He couldn't even post when he was in Chongqing. The stuff he posted had horrible pollution. So he had to go and ask somebody to go out on a day when there wasn't pollution to film the same bridge he was on, not say anything, so that he could later post like, this is what the city looks like, type thing. It's crazy. But the fact that he had to make such a big deal out of this one blue sky shows you how bad it is in China. They keep saying it's improved. They keep saying it's getting better, but it isn't really.
Yes.
All right?
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think that guy had a little bit of shill broth?
Oh, he loves shill broth, dude. He rinses his hair with it to try and make it grow.
Oh, interesting. All the sources, as always, are always linked below. Unlike some people who don't source anything they do, we source almost everything we do.
Yes.
By analyzing atmospheric observations in 9 cities across China from 2011 to 2021, they found that both gases exhibited an increase of 78% of emissions in China. By 2020, it represents 64 to 66% of global emissions for tetrafluoromethane and hexafluoroethane. However, while the levels of fluorocarbon emissions are increasing at an alarming rate, CO2 still accounts for about 76% of total greenhouse gas emissions. Let's not forget China's CO2 output, that it's obsessed with telling everyone it has conquered or will conquer soon. I believe it when I see it then.
Yeah.
You can add the data that they use for these big puff pieces about how China is planning to do this stuff is always like they're adding so many wind turbines and so many solar panels and all this kind of stuff, ignoring the fact that a lot of things that happen in China are not hooked up, are done because of government money, stipends that they get from the central government.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that those things are working. You don't have some international body that's going and checking everything. Let's see your actual output of blah, 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 right?
Here's a news flash. Covering a mountain with solar panels is not good.
Yes. No.
Because you have to make those solar panels.
Yeah.
And to produce them creates a lot of pollution. Then you have to hook them up.
Yeah.
And they become obsolete very easily.
That's what I was going to say. They're not sustainable forever, right?
No.
Especially these cheap ones that get done with government money just so they can get them out.
And as you said, how do you know that they're hooked up and working? How do you know they're even real? How do you know they have...
If you did some sort of like audit through the country, they will never let this happen because this is North Korea basically, right? It's not going to happen, but you would probably be shocked.
You also probably don't want to be putting solar panels covering where the freaking grass should be growing, and if nature gets destroyed because of all the extra heat generated and all the extra problems that it causes and blocking out the sun from the soil and everything. And then they break and have to be replaced. So there you go, create a whole bunch of new pollution just to make another stupid thing.
Truth is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Badminton, believe it or not, is incredibly popular in China.
It is. Why would we not believe that, though?
Because it's not popular anywhere else. Hunting camouflage, personal dress-up shorts, tactical training skirt for men's Scottish kilt.
Look at the photo they used.
What is this?
I just love that he's wearing a dress.
He's wearing a dress, and it looks like he's wearing like a bra.
I don't think we took that in. That is absolutely absurd.
Fidget spinner, knife, outdoor folding blade, stainless steel camping knife, military knives, but it's got a knuckle duster built in, so you can like punch someone, and then at the same time as you're punching them, sever your own artery or you know.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.